everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Essential Sports Pod. As we touched a little bit upon the new changes we are doing or putting into the podcast. Bringing down the times on the episodes, and trying to talk about bigger news. So, in this episode, we want to talk about the offense in the last few games. The Cardinals have played 19 games in 19 days, which is a rough stretch to go through, especially towards the back end of it. Um, and most of the back end of the 19 games was away from home, which is also tough. Um, so yeah,
Right.
let's get right into that. Uh, the in the last 9 games, I want to talk about the offense has taken a step back a little bit from what they usually do. You can expect them to score double digits on a good day, and even on a normal day, I feel like. Um,
Right.
but in the last 9 games, they have 3.11 runs per game. They're feeling a little fatigued or something. But it seems like our some of our star players have taken a step back or gone into a little slump. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with that. Also, you just have to look at our overall health as a team right now. We have a lot of outfielders that are hurt right now, a lot of guys getting called up to take spots. I know we're going to touch on one player getting called up in specific, but yeah, we talk about like the dog days of summer in baseball, and to have 19 games in 19 days has got to be one of the toughest stretches, but you know,
yeah. I mean they've
trying to manage it.
yeah they just got the 2 day rest, which funny stat. It's the first time they've gotten a 2 day rest since the 1970s,
Yeah, I was about to say
which
that can't be normal.
that's insane. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, hopefully it'll let them get back on track, especially our star players, which I want to get into right now. Start out with Nolan Arenado. He got hot, especially during that Red Sox series and a little after. Uh, a little before against Chicago. But he has taken a step back in his last 8 games.
mhm.
He's had 26 at bats. He's only had 4 hits and 2 RBIs, and he's only walked 3 times, which is a little rough to see. But yeah, you got anything to add on, Nolan?
Yeah. Just just the eye test to me kind of just seems like something's still kind of off. But you can tell that he's working. Well, you know that he's working. He's a hard working guy. But yeah, like you said, just still kind of off. It could be the fatigue. Um, it could be a little bit of pressure to get back into the central race, but we can never pinpoint it as fans. Just gotta hope that he does better.
Yeah, he did go through a 5 game stretch where he did not get a hit. It was starting out in the Cincinnati series and then to the second game of against the Guardians. But the last 3 games, he's on a 3 game hitting streak, and hopefully this pushes him into a good month of June. He went 2 for 4 against the Guardians, 1 for 3, 1 for 3. Um, and yeah, we just hope to see that improvement. The nice thing to know about Arenado
Yeah,
that he will walk. He's not going to walk 2 or 3 times a game, but his average is at 260, but his on base percentage is at 310. So he's still getting on base.
yeah,
And that's what you want, man. Even if you're not going to hit doubles or home runs, you're still getting on base, and that's what we need.
yeah. With the walking, Arenado and his player profile, he doesn't really walk a ton. But what's really affecting him this year is the fact that he's not hitting for as much power as he usually does. So kind of just hoping everything can get on pace for him. He can see the ball a little bit better and get it going.
Yeah, especially because he's at the heart of our order at 4. I don't think he's moved from 4 this whole season. Um,
No,
and you need those guys right in the middle towards the top a little bit to be on, because the bottom of the order isn't always going to be on. Um,
right.
and yeah, he's him with Contreras. We need them to be on. But
Yeah, the 4 and 5 hole as they go, the team goes. So, hope everything gets better
yeah,
after this break.
because you can get one, two guys up on base, but then if you're not doing anything with those guys on base, then there goes your whole
Yeah,
rally, or even one run.
right.
Because recently we have seen Newbar get on base. Goldie at number two on the order. He's walking. He's hitting a single, maybe double, but sometimes they're not getting hit in, and that's what's been hurting us
Yeah,
lately.
yeah,
So yeah,
I agree.
somebody else I want to talk about who a lot of people wrote out this season, and recently he's been in a big slump, and that's Paul DeYoung. He started
Hmm.
out super hot. His average was up to after a few games. Obviously, he was up to 300. On base percentage
Yeah,
370. OPS was above 900 for a good while. Um, and yeah, but he has taken a step back. He is hitless in his last 6 games, which includes 21 at bats. But one thing that stood out to me is he's only striking out. Well, he is striking out a good amount, but he only strikeouts once a game. So it's like he's getting 4 at bats, but he's only striking out once, which means he's putting the ball in play. Um,
right.
but it's tough to see DeYoung, especially because he was very clutch in some of the games early on in this season. Yeah.
Yeah, I know if we had Addison on for this part, he would be like, "Why didn't we trade him?" So, I'm not gonna go that far, but like you said, it has been a very tough slump overall, and well, I don't have the stats for what he did in a month, but just just looking at the stats at the tail end of the month, you kind of see the average go from all the way from 291 to 281, 269, 258, 248, 240. So yeah, he's kind of in a slump, and him not having a whole season worth of games, his average is going to take a little bit of a hit if he goes on a little skid like this. But um, yeah, I'm confident that he can still bounce back. He honestly, I really think it's fatigue. So I'm really hoping that's it. But just hope that he bounces back. And I know what he's capable of when he's on and seeing the ball well. So hope we can get back to that or close to that.
Yeah, to piggyback a little bit off of you, I got the stats right here for the month. For May, he's hitting 202 average. His on base percentage is 295, which is both of them are a step back from April, obviously, because in April he was hitting
Yeah.
350, getting on base 375. Um, but yeah, as you said, I like to think it's the fatigue, just with all these other guys who have slumped a little bit.
Hmm.
And I'm still very confident in Paul. He's switched up his stance. He's catching up to the fastball, and he's hitting
Hmm.
for power. And obviously, he's got the defense we all know about. Um,
Right.
so yeah, I'm very confident in him still.
Yeah. Piggybacking just a little bit off what you said. His OPS overall for the month of May was still at 735. So technically, he's still an above the major league average for the month. But even though he kind of tailed off at the end, but to me, that means that he still kind of hit for power. You know, April he was at a 696 slugging, and it went down to 440, but that's still in a decent spot. And if we can get that OPS up and the average up a little bit, his OPS can go from like 735 to maybe like 760, 770s, and then we'll actually like be talking about a good season and a good first half for Paul DeYoung.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our debatably one of our top two guys this season, Nolan Gorman. Um,
Mhm.
he was lights out. You know, he was hitting everything at the beginning of the season, and he has taken a step back, and not like in a big span of games, but the last 6 games, it seems to be a trend. Last 6 to 8 games, it seems like these guys have taken a little step back from their usual production, and as we keep saying, I feel like it is fatigue, and it's all these games you got to play, and it's been hot outside, and you you've been facing good pitching with the Guardian series,
Hmm.
and yeah, he's in his last 6 games. He's had 21 at bats. He's only gotten 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He's gonna swing. He's gonna be a strikeout guy, but he's also gonna put the ball in play. Yeah,
Right. And when he does put the ball in play, always has the potential to go a very long way. No matter where the pitch is, he can take it the other way. He can pull. Obviously, he's a pull hitter. But yeah, like you said, these last these last like 6 games, which calendar wise, that's about a week, obviously. You know, I kind of feel like we should probably chalk it up to fatigue. Obviously, if this continues to happen to where the offense is kind of still slow, then maybe we should pay attention a little bit more. But man, the dog days, the summer, they are right on us because we have to grind for everything with the weather and these good pitchers and all these games back to back to back. I could see how that could be very tough, but you know as a Cardinals fan, we are staying optimistic about the offense, even though they're in a little bit of a rut right now. So yeah.
yeah. Comparing April to May for Nolan Gorman, it seems like you could argue that he had a better month in May, even though he has struggled recently. Comparing his month in April, he had 7 runs scored to his 15 in May. He's gotten the same amount of hits in 5 less at bats. Um, he's hit the same amount of doubles. He's hit 1 more home run. He does have 3 less RBI, but that's all right. He's walked the same
Yeah.
amounts and he's struck out less.
hmm If the for April he hit 264, and then his OPS overall was 872, which is very good. And then you come down to May, he was hitting 277, and his OPS was 955. So yeah, like you said, overall looks like May was better, but I think that was just because he was hitting for a lot more power. Obviously, not to take away from his April because that was still very productive. But yeah, he hit for a lot of power this month, and he had that Player of the Week in there where he was just on an absolute tear. So if we can get back to that, be feeling great.
Yeah, like we said earlier, we need the heart of the order to come through. Maybe not every
Right.
game, but you know, most games we need them. So yeah,
Yeah.
adding to the heart of the order and who is there, there's a guy who has been struggling for a while now, and his man is Wilson Contreras.
Hmm.
I can talk about his last 2 weeks where he's hitting .098. Um, he's had 4 hits in his last 41 at bats. He's only walked 3 times, and his on base percentage is at 159. It's been tough to see the struggles, especially because he is our number 5 hitter. It seems like he's just up there, and you know, he, it feels like a guaranteed out. As much as I hate to say it, if it feels like he's not going to put the ball in play. He looks kind of uncomfortable out there.
Yeah. I feel like some Cardinals fans have kind of went sour on Wilson Contreras. I kind of look at the comment sections of our like games that we've won or lost, like on these Cardinal fan pages, and they're like, "Oh my God, Contreras is so bad. Why are we overpaying?" Blah 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 blah. But you know, it's a long season, man, and he is struggling pretty bad right now. But based on his track record as an MLB big leaguer, this isn't the player that he is. You, I just feel like there has to be some point where he bounces out of it, and I feel like with players like him, it takes that one thing or that one hit or that one fiery matchup against a good opponent that he can snap out of it. We kind of seen that at the beginning of the year where he was kind of struggling for a while and then he got a little blue hit. And then next thing you know, he's crushing the ball to all fields and two home run games and curtain calls. So it's tough to see right now for sure. And it's not what we want out of our big ticket free agent. But I'm confident in him, you know, bouncing back. But it's just tough to see right now. But hopefully it will get better.
Yeah, you see nowadays, not just in baseball, but you know, people expect somebody to be really good, really fast, and that's never. I don't think that's very realistic, even outside of sports.
Right.
It's it's something that you can't really expect somebody to be super good uh, from the get go. Sometimes it is going to happen, but most of the time it's not going to happen. Um,
Right.
but I just see this as a bad month for Contreras. I fully expect him to bounce back. My confidence is still high. He is still a top catcher in the game. And yeah,
Yeah.
he was still hitting 260 in
Al-
April. So yeah.
think about all the stuff that he's had to go through this year already, signing for a new team who happens to be the division rival. The manager is taking you out of the catcher position, saying you're going to be a corner outfielder. You know, he had an injury early on. He came to spring training to work with his pitchers. Half the pitchers weren't even here. So, we're all human, man. I think it's tough right now. And, again, we could chalk it up to fatigue, but he's also gone through a lot as a player.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said with him. If he's like that type of player that he needs that one hit or that one home run or that one good matchup against a good team. Because, we've seen his
Yeah.
fire in him against Arizona. Uh, we've seen it multiple times where, the two home run game. He's always fired up. It seems like you need that fire from somebody on the team, even if you aren't hitting that well. You can see the emotion behind the plate when something good happens. Get a strikeout, he's hyped, um, and
Mhm.
that's what you need, especially for this pitching
Yep,
staff.
especially out of the catcher. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. One last thing we want to get into this episode is somebody who recently got called up, and I don't know if I'd say it's about time, but it's good to see him back. And that man is Jordan Walker.
Hmm.
He is in the lineup
Right.
as of today, May 2nd, when we are recording this. Or sorry, June 2nd.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and he's finally back in the lineup. I think it's the first time he's back in the lineup since April, if I'm not wrong. Um,
Yeah, I think that's right.
so yeah, it's very nice to see. I do want to talk about his stats a little bit in the minors. He is hitting 239 this season. But he is getting on base. Uh, on his on base percentage is 350. Uh,
Mm, I didn't
but
know that. That's good.
yeah, but his OPS is down to 746, which I think anybody expects that to go up. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not in the minors, obviously, because he's not there, but we can expect that to be up in the MLB. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, when he first went down to AAA, he was absolutely horrid. Like his stats were pretty bad. So the fact that he's all the way up to 240 and his on base percentage was still at 350, that tells me personally that recently he's been swinging a hot bat. I see things on Twitter. I've seen him go 3 for 3, and I hear that he's making adjustments with his swing to hit the ball in the air more. Which he hits the ball hard, but once you hit it in the air, it can go a long way with a big, strong kid like him. So yeah, I think he's ready for the show. Um, and I hope that he proves everyone wrong that he deserves to go down because he's that guy.
Yeah, it feels like kind of a refresher to see a new face on the team. Well, new, I mean like recently. Um,
Mhm.
but maybe he'll get a little fire in us again. If if I had to, I mean, I could expect him to go on another hitting streak again.
Right.
Because he's just that guy. He's a professional hitter. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
Hopefully his defense got better in the outfield because that was something that was getting on to him. Um, but I mean, if he worked on something, I feel like it was on his defense. So yeah,
Yeah, I just hope that Ali stays creative. Like I know the pitching episode was last episode, but talking about getting creative with Nats, I I feel like we have so many injuries right now on the offense that we kind of do have to get creative as far as the lineups that we send out there. I mean, today we have Tommy Edman playing center field, which I don't remember seeing that like ever as a Cardinals fan. We got Carlson hurt, O'Neal hurt, Newt Bar hurt, like, you know, and the outfield was supposed to be like one of the deepest parts of the team. So, you know, we kind of got to piece some things together, but we are coming off 2 days of rest, and we do have some new faces in the lineup. So I think this is where things kind of go up for the Cardinals. That's my prediction. What do you think?
no,
How
I
do you
think
think
I
this is
think
gonna go?
it's definitely well, having the 2 days rest is always nice. Even
Right.
even one day of rest is always nice. But I think they get back on track, especially against the Pirates. Starting out
Mhm.
the month against the Pirates, it'll be nice. And as you said, our outfield is supposed to be our um, deepest part of the team, and I think that's showing. We got
Yeah.
Oscar Mercado, who has been playing pretty well.
Hmm.
Burleson, who's always up there on the lineup. Jordan Walker's up there now. Tommy Edman has moved to the outfield.
Donovan
Yeah,
playing out there today.
Donovan. It's showing, and it's always nice
Yeah.
to see that we have a backup for the backup. Um,
Right.
and we don't always gotta rely on Plan A or Plan B. We always got something up our
Right.
sleeve.
And even as far as like the plan A and plan B, like right now, this team that we're throwing out there is like a plan C or a plan D, and we still have confidence in the offense to, piece together some hits and stuff like that. So I feel like that's a luxury as a fan, having an offense as explosive as us. But the results speak more than anything. So, I'm just hoping for good results over these next few days.
Yeah, hopefully we can start off hot. Even hopefully take 2 games against the Pirates. Because I think our schedule. I
Mhm.
think we're going into a part of. Yeah, we're playing the Pirates and then we're playing Cincinnati. So and then towards the end of June we're playing Chicago again. So hopefully these games we can maybe not win every game against our division rivals, but win the series and slowly chip away to that lead.
Right. If we're piecing together series wins against our division rivals, then we're going to be in second place, maybe even first place within no time. I think we're 5 games out right now, and the Pirates are above us. If we take 2 games away from the Pirates this series, we'll be within 1 game of them, and they're in second place right now. So, you know, the eggs are right there in order. We just have to hatch them. That's what I'll say.
That's the best way to put it, honestly. I mean, yeah, as you said, 4.5 games back, 5 games back. Um,
Yeah.
we're coming off a win, which is always nice. And yeah, I just hope our pitching can keep it up. I super glad that Mats is back in the bullpen. Well, I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
say back, but he's in the bullpen. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, so if you got anything else to add to the offense?
Oh no, I think we covered everything pretty well. Just needing to get a spark out of these guys that's filling in for the injured guys, and then maybe when the injured guys come back, we could, be even stronger than that.
Yeah, always got to stay
So,
optimistic. Uh, and
right.
we stayed. we stayed confident at the beginning of the season when we started out. I think it was like 10 and 18 or something like that.
Yeah, like 10
And
and 21 or
yeah,
something.
look at us now. We're 25 and 32. Like we're getting back to 500 mark slowly but surely.
Right, right. We're gonna be there. We're definitely gonna be there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps up this episode on the Cardinals offense recently, especially this month
Mhm.
of May. Oh, this past month. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in once again on this other episode covering the offense. Um, so yeah, we will see you beautiful people in the next episode.
It's been an honor.